Let's get right into it. Number 5. The Toba Supervolcano. About 74,000 years ago, Earth basically tried to uninstall humans like a buggy app. Deep in what is now Indonesia, a supervolcano called Toba exploded so hard it didn't just ruin the local neighborhood, it ruined the entire planet's mood. Imagine every volcano movie ever, then multiply it by global extinction event. The blast shot ash high enough to block sunlight across continents. Not oh no, cloudy day levels. More like the sun has left the chat. Temperatures dropped, ecosystems collapsed, plants died, animals starved, and humans suddenly had the survival odds of a houseplant in Antarctica. Scientists believe the human population may have dropped to just a few thousand individuals, not thousands of tribes, thousands of people. Total, that's fewer than a medium-sized concert crowd, except instead of singing along, everyone is desperately trying not to die from famine and volcanic winter. Genetic evidence today suggests we all descend from that tiny group of survivors, which means humanity came terrifyingly close to being wiped out by what was essentially Earth having a very aggressive sneeze. Basically, our species survived because a handful of very stubborn ancestors refused to go extinct. Humanity's origin story is less glorious triumph and more we got lucky and hid well. Number 4. The Ice Age Bottleneck. If freezing to death were an Olympic sport, early humans would have taken gold, silver, and hypothermia. During the last ice age, giant sheets of ice swallowed huge portions of the northern hemisphere. Forests vanished, food sources migrated or died, entire regions became frozen wastelands where the weather forecast was just still awful. Humans didn't have central heating, insulated jackets, or hot chocolate. They had animal skins, fire, and the constant anxiety of being eaten by something with tusks the size of your leg. Populations shrank drastically, groups became isolated. One bad winter, one failed hunt, one disease outbreak, and a whole community could disappear forever. Survival depended on cooperation, innovation, and probably a lot of arguing about whose idea it was to move north in the first place. Ironically, this brutal period may have made us smarter. Harsh environments reward problem solving. If you can invent tools, coordinate hunts, and not freeze solid, you get to pass on your genes. If not, well, nature doesn't give participation trophies. So the Ice Age didn't just almost end us, it forced humans to become the adaptable, big-brained overachievers we are today. Trauma builds character. Apparently, species-level trauma builds civilization. Number 3. When humans were just too few. At multiple points in prehistory, humans weren't dominating the planet. We weren't even winning locally. We were just one fragile species among many, with no guarantee of survival. Small populations are dangerously vulnerable. A single drought, epidemic, or unlucky streak of bad harvests can wipe out entire groups. There's also the genetic problem. Too few people means less diversity, which means diseases hit harder and adaptability drops. Imagine trying to rebuild humanity with the population of a small town except everyone lives miles apart. Communication is basically shouting, and medicine is hope. Meanwhile, predators are still very much interested in eating you. Big cats, giant hyenas, packs of wolves. The prehistoric world was less circle of life and more all-you-can-eat human buffet. The wild part is that humans weren't physically impressive. We didn't have claws, fangs, armor, or speed. Our main advantages were teamwork and a brain that constantly overthinks everything, which, for once, paid off. So humanity survived not because we were the strongest, but because we were the most annoyingly persistent problem solvers on Earth. Evolution's version of that one person who just won't leave the group chat. Number 2. The plague that changed everything. Fast forward to a time when humans had already built cities, governments, and the revolutionary concept of crowding a lot of people into one place with questionable hygiene. Enter the Black Death, history's most aggressive population control program. In the 14th century, a bacterium called Yersinia pestis spread across Europe, Asia, and North Africa with terrifying efficiency, transmitted by fleas riding on rats because of course it was the disease caused fever, swelling, organ failure, and death in a matter of days. Medieval medicine's best solutions included prayer, herbs, and occasionally drilling holes in people's skulls, which did not help. Entire towns were emptied, mass graves became normal. In some regions, up to half the population died. Imagine every second person you know just gone. No warning, no cure, no explanation. People thought it was divine punishment, bad air, or unfortunate astrology. Meanwhile, the bacteria were just doing bacteria things. Civilization itself started wobbling. Farms went untended, economies collapsed, social order cracked. When enough people die, society stops functioning. Turns out everything depends on humans actually being alive. Humanity didn't come close to total extinction here, but it was a brutal reminder that even a microscopic organism can knock our species flat. For all our castles and armies, we were still helpless against something you can't even see. Basically, the Black Death proved that humans can be outmatched by a germ with a good travel plan. Number 1. Nuclear close calls. Here's the comforting part. The event that almost ended humanity didn't happen in the distant past. It happened while people were wearing suits, using telephones, and definitely should have known better. During the Cold War, the world had enough nuclear weapons to turn civilization into a glowing archaeological mystery. Several times, catastrophe came down to a single decision by one person refusing to panic. In 1983, Soviet officer Stanislav Petrov received an alert that the United States had launched nuclear missiles. Protocol said he should report it immediately, which could trigger a retaliatory strike and then everyone loses forever. But Petrov hesitated. Something felt off. He judged it a false alarm. He was right. A satellite glitch had mistaken sunlight reflecting off clouds for missile launches. If he had followed procedure exactly, the chain reaction might have led to full-scale nuclear war. And this wasn't the only time. Submarine commanders, radar operators, and military leaders on both sides faced moments where panic could have ended civilization. Humanity's survival sometimes depended not on technology, but on someone staying calm while the apocalypse notification popped up. So yes, the dominant species on Earth nearly deleted itself because machines got confused by weather. Basically, our continued existence is partly thanks to a few people who chose to double-check before pressing the biggest send button in history. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.